Okay, so it seems like we have an update on the whole Neuro Sama canvas thing that is going on at the moment, and obviously it's been a very fun and funny event that has been going on for the past couple of days. If you don't know, CDawg recently set up an event which mainly features a lot of VTubers. Obviously anyone's allowed to join, I'm pretty sure, but obviously a lot of VTubers have really had a good time with this, where essentially you can do a pixel canvas, a bit like r/place, where your fans and you can obviously place down little like pixels of color, and you can make artwork and stuff showing your dedication to a certain VTuber. Now, obviously, Neuro Sama has absolutely taken over this board, and you know, the kind of absolute growth of this board in terms of Neuro Sama taking over has been insane. And it seems like we have an update on the canvas itself, and also an update from CDawg talking about some people trying to stir drama over Neuro Sama taking this over, which I thought was a little bit stupid. Now, obviously, let's just cover the canvas first. As you can see, this is how the canvas was literally a couple minutes ago when I took the screenshot. So again, it's looking absolutely amazing. It seems like more VTubers are now getting involved, but Neuro Sama is still pretty heavily the kind of just like, you know, leader in terms of, you know, people involved in the kind of canvas itself. You see Neuro here with Bradley, Ethel's dog, which I think is cute as hell. Obviously, they are protecting him, which I think, yeah, is quite funny. And obviously, it seems like a lot more VTubers are now getting involved. Obviously, we've got Mint down here in the corner. We've got Mitchie, you know, we've got others. And obviously, not all of these are led by just you know, the VTubers. Sometimes the VTubers aren't involved, but the fan base just wants to put something out there. Sometimes the VTubers are heavily involved, and as you know, Neuro has been very heavily involved in terms of getting a fan base to create many pieces of art. And I mean, bro, there is so many. You got 1, 2, you know, there's too many to kind of count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and even this one, like for example, like CDawg's like group of people, he's been working with other streamers like Nianas and Hanya and Rain and, you know, Contal, so many other people, right, to create this big like mural. And they've even infiltrated this. They literally took over Ethel's face and turned him they turned him into Vedal, bro. Which I think is absolutely hilarious. And they also turned some of the other ones. I think that's Connor, and then I think that one's, is that one supposed to be Mouse? I forgot. I think that might be Mouse, that might be Connor, and they turned him into Annie and Neuro Sama, which I think is crazy. That's why you got Evil there too. And obviously they are featured literally all across this canvas, which I think is insane, and it still baffles me how dedicated a fan base can be, but obviously it is great to see. Now obviously CDawg has been talking about this over on his clips, talking about some people trying to stir drama between Connor and you know, Vedal. Obviously the screenshot doesn't look too great, as he's currently got his fan base making laser eyes of Bradley onto you know, onto Neuro there, but again, that was just a funny thing, but yeah, he talks about it, so let's just watch this clip and then we'll talk about it.
I saw people were getting upset that they were like, man, the swarm's taking over, and they were trying to like blame them, and I'm like, I feel like it's silly to blame people for being dedicated and into something as well, but then I mean, there's also vice versa. People were like being mean to everyone, was just being mean to everyone over like fucking silly pixel things, basically what I felt like. There's just like different expectations and different vibes, and I mean, it's unfortunate because sometimes that when a different community has a different vibe, it can sour a vibe for someone else, right? These are always very difficult things to take into account, but you know, I think at the end of the day, it's placing pixels, and getting upset at each other and throwing blame is like a really silly thing to do. And I think, you know, I see people who are speculating. I was like, trying to read it because you know, because I like when these events, I like doing them, and I like seeing what people think. People like speculating, like, oh, this person wanted this person wanted this. And it's like, bro, I think me and Vedal are chill. We're friends. You know, it's at the end of the day, we're just trying to make some fun content, and people getting really upset about it is like, you are the problem. If you got upset, this is the issue. You need to like step back, chill. It's okay. It is pixels. Yes, it is frustrating. I 100% can be frustrating if you're just trying to build something and you're getting absolutely taken over. And the inverse is very frustrating. If you're building a bunch of stuff, people are just complaining about you building stuff. It's like, what do you want me to do? I'm being active. It's like, it's going to be tough. I think if I was to do this again, I would probably chat with Vedal and be like, all right, we need to probably figure out the way to direct people better and how we think this should go. But I also...
So yeah, obviously he talks about it there. You know, there are some people getting angry at the fact that obviously Neuro Sama is such a big part of this, and there is many people obviously on her side. Now, again, I think this is just a show of how powerful her community is. You know, they are very dedicated and everything like that. It's not like, you know, she's got 1,000 AIs working on this for her. No, it's actual real people that are creating these kinds of things for her. And obviously, yes, at the end of the day, it just means that she has a much more dedicated fan base than maybe some other people. And, you know, as Connor says there, it can be frustrating, obviously, to have your artwork like taken over, but that's the whole point of the pixel canvas, right? The whole point is to take over other people's art and to fight for it and to kind of, you know, fight for your place in, you know, on the canvas. And whether that's just a small little image that you can kind of upkeep the entire time, or whether you want to go for a big one, obviously it's completely up to you. And many people have been working on different pieces of art because, as you've seen throughout my videos, the art has changed massively, you know, since the start of this has happened. You know, that's because there is people taking over other people, whether it's Neuro Sama, whether it's other people, you know, not just Neuro is doing this. It is literally the aim of the game. The aim of the game is to, you know, kind of find your space there, upkeep it, and maybe take over other spaces as well, to kind of, you know, get yourself known, or to, you know, support your favorite creator, which honestly is great. And Connor obviously said that, you know, it is just pixels. Like, no one cares. No one actually cares whether, you know, Neuro Sama has 20 different, you know, pieces of artwork on here, or she has one. You know, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It really does show, you know, obviously the communities and, you know, how dedicated they are to their kind of creators. And that's the good thing about it. You know, you should see that as a positive. And obviously, yeah, sure, maybe there could be some changes made to the canvas to allow for more streamers. For example, like expanding the canvas a bit like how r/place did it. Again, that could be a possibility. I don't know if they're planning on doing that. And also, obviously, maybe talking with Vedal and other creators that, you know, have this kind of pool to see what they can kind of do. Because again, obviously, then it will give more opportunities to other creators. But I really don't think it needs that much moderation. I think it's one of these things where people should just have fun. They shouldn't be arguing over the fact that, you know, they don't like the fact that Neuro Sama is taking over or whatever. Because, again, to be fair, over the past couple of, like, days, obviously we saw what it was like before. There was, like, a ton of different Neuro Sama images and stuff all up on the page, right? And then, obviously, it's now gotten to this, where I feel like there is actually less Neuro on the page than there was before, and more other creators. As I said, we were pointing at all the ones that we saw. There's all of these creators as well, still included, even though they've taken over the first little bit here. But again, all of these creators still here. You know, you got Mint down there, we got Michi, you know, as we were talking about, we got even more VTubers here. Again, there is so many different communities getting involved in this that I really don't think it is that big of an issue. And obviously, there has been some problems in terms of the actual canvas thing, which Connor does talk about earlier on in this clip, where essentially there's been problems with the actual, like, running of it. Nothing to do with the creators or anything involved. Like, the actual canvas itself has some issues with, like, bugs and things, because, like, he added, like, some features, for example, like a bomb feature where you could, like, kind of take over a bit and, like, kind of, like, yeah, put like a bomb of, like, white or whatever color you want, right? And obviously that would help you to take over things like Neuro Sama artwork and then kind of claim some places back, right? But obviously that has been failing to work sometimes, not just on Neuro, but on, like, other, you know, anybody, like, anywhere on the canvas, right? So again, obviously that makes it harder for people to kind of overturn different pieces of artwork, right? Which obviously makes it harder for people to claim their spot. So again, obviously, if that was improved, then obviously that would have been a little bit better too, and obviously Connor hoped that it would have worked, but it seems like it has had a couple of, like, issues over the past couple of days. But again, I still don't think it's terrible or anything. Like, the canvas has been working fine, and it's been a really fun and positive experience, and I think that's what everybody wants to keep it, you know? Connor wants to keep it like that, and all the other VTubers involved want to keep it like that. They want to keep it positive. They don't want people to be arguing over, I think my VTuber deserves it more, or I think this should have happened, or, you know, we got taken over by Neuro or whatever. You know, people don't care at the end of the day. It's just pixels on a screen, and people need to chill out. You know, it's just supposed to be a fun event showcasing the absolute kind of dedication that a lot of communities have, and, you know, it's only going to improve, because I'm sure in a couple of days' time, there might be a few less Neuro Sama kind of pieces of work, because again, obviously, yeah, there might be, like, this one big one here of protecting Bradley maybe, or whatever, but again, I feel like there might be even less, because obviously more people will come in and join in, and obviously it's still kind of, I don't know how long he's planning to do this, but again, it's still kind of early days in terms of, like, you know, how people are planning on taking over and things, and again, some streamers haven't sat down to actually guide their community yet. So we have to wait for that too, because there's many VTubers that, you know, have been kind of out of the loop of it. I think Iron Mouse has been a little bit busy with work and stuff. So again, she hasn't been able to kind of guide her audience as much. So again, you know, you got streamers like that who might come into the mix of things and change things up. So you just have to kind of wait, and I think a lot of people have been complaining. But again, as Connor says, you know, people just need to stop. You know, it's not fun for anybody whenever you try to stir drama over, you know, a nice pixel event, because it has been a very positive one. Every single video I've made on this has been extremely positive, you know, because again, it just shows the absolute power of a lot of these communities and how much, you know, they can really, you know, showcase their love for a certain creator, which I think is really cool. And obviously that's the main part of pixel things like this, you know. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's stupid. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this, because again, I'm very interested in what you guys have to say, as it is a very interesting situation. But yeah, hopefully this, you know, does continue to go positively, and that everybody involved keeps it nice and positive, because again, it is a positive thing, and hopefully, yeah, it should be all good from that. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code CASA, get 10% off again. They got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.